it's just like in a church. Everybody in the church,
Just
per se,
just press it once, off, you're good.
talking about they want to go to heaven, but ain't but one preacher. That don't mean that he better than anybody else. But ain't but one preacher. You know, in your household, if you got 10 children, ain't but one mother and daddy. Everybody can have some ideas about what it is, but
Can I tell you what we're doing here with this camper?
no.
What if I beg
I
you?
don't care.
You don't
'Cause
care?
I'm going to do it anyway for you. That's how much love I have for you.
I
You
love
don't
you
even
too.
know that.
I love you too. I do.
Well, prove it.
Okay, I'm gonna prove it to you. Okay, let me go get my G-string. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh,
No, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Okay, but let me just talk
I
about
like
this.
this.
Okay, so somebody during the pandemic parked their camper here because they had to move it off their property, and then they ended up donating it to us. We asked them if they weren't going to come get it, donate it. And then I asked Jesse Loya, who's our sound guy, production guy, he's our everything guy, to make a state-of-the-art recording studio and podcast studio. Let me tell you why. Because when I bought this place in 2018, I did not know what it was. I didn't understand the depth of what it was, the stories it had to tell. And the Hunterman Hall tells a more nuanced story of Mississippi and the black community than any story you'll hear outside of Mississippi. It tells a story of a place where a community came together to find joy and also to celebrate their talents, right? And like you said earlier, there wasn't any other place to play. So these musicians who were traveling the South, they only had these juke joints to play in. So when I got the place, I knew that, but I didn't understand that until this happened. I went to the grocery store, Frugal's, which is our family grocery store on Highway 90. And this guy was stocking cans. And he turned to me and he said, "You're the one who bought that Hunterman Hall." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "When I was a little boy, I snuck in behind my older brother's knees and saw Sam Cooke playing there." And it gave me chills. I couldn't believe that. And then I was out here and somebody rode their bike up, and this woman said to me, when I was 13 years old, I sat on these front steps. They wouldn't let me in because I was too young, but I heard Etta James as if she was standing next to me because she had this booming voice. And so these stories started coming out of people, just people around here, even like James Booker. James Booker was born in New Orleans. They claim him as their musician, but he was raised here by his aunt, and he learned to play piano at St. Rose. And I said to people, "Wait a minute, James Booker was from here?" And they're like, "Yeah, but he was just one of us." Like this inordinate talent that came out of this area. And when I went to the Historic Society, they don't have a lot of that information. And when you look around and you try to understand the contribution of the black community here, they don't have that information. So it became incumbent upon the Hunterman Hall to start recording that information. And Lionel actually and Jesse worked with me, and we did these conversations with lions based on the African proverb that until the lion tells its tale, history will favor the hunter. And we had these elders from the community come in and talk, and we heard so many stories. It was really, it's incredible. So having somebody like you here at the hall, play the hall, it's such an honor. And it's not only that, it feels like living history. And so I want to get your take. What's the Chitlin Circuit? What did it mean to you? What was your sort of understanding of it? I've heard people say it was a dangerous time. I've heard people say that, they made $4 or $2 a show. But what were you getting out of it? What was it?
Well, first of all, let me give you a little background of me. I wrote this book, and I wrote in this book what I could tell at the time I was writing the book and display it in a way where it be readable, where people understood. But everything that I did and everything I came through is not in that book. But I wrote the book where the book would be sellable and readable and understandable for people who may or may not understand about the chitlin circuit. There's a few people who know about the chitlin circuit, but it's not many people who know about it. Here's to tell it. Even B.B. King didn't tell everything he knew about the chitlin circuit, and he crossed over and crossed out simply because management record companies could dictate what he should or should not do. I'm one of the few men left in this country is free to do almost what I want to do. I slipped through the crack. Now, they wasn't planning for me to be here, slipping through the crack. But I'm also smart enough to know that I don't know nothing. Because when a man tell what he know, he won't talk long, because man don't know nothing. I had a beer in 1957. I had 3 in my life. I never had a drink, never smoked a cigarette, never got high, no form of fashion in my life. That don't mean I'm so good. I got so many other things wrong with me, which is just as bad as drinking. Now, I'm going to lead up to where you... There's a lot of people you get could come here to speak about this, speak of this, but haven't been through the currents that I came through. If you check my record, I own more masters than any blues man in the country.
Wow.
And I'm independent. If you notice, I walked in the audience, you'll see no rings on me, nothing on me. That don't mean I'm so safe. That mean I'm a badger piece of product, and I'm a danger man to know what I know. Let me go back a little bit. I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now, born in Louisiana. How my roots came by from that. My great-grandmother, Emma Johnson, she was a slave to Van Spivey, which was a white man. He had 6 kids by my great-grandmom and 5 kids by his wife, who live in the same house. So when I went to school every day, my mama being blonde hair and blue eyes. My daddy was a black man who he had to be her chauffeur. My mama was my babysitter that took me to school. That's the way I lived my life, all my life, because I couldn't be her child. So when my great-grandfather was on his dying bed in Mississippi, he wanted to divide his lands up to his children. And the white side of the family took my great-grandmother to Eudora, Arkansas, dropped them in a barn. They raised themselves. That's how my dad met my mom from Louisiana.
Wow.
So my mom is blue-eyed and blonde hair. When I walked in the audience today, they didn't know what I was doing. I walked among my people. They didn't even know it.
That's amazing.
Nobody didn't know it. If you wouldn't done it, I would have never talked about this.
That's amazing.
Because on my mom's side, from other than my mom, there's no black people. So I'm sitting in a dangerous position, bad position or good position. What can I say? Now I'm out with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Now you can see the link in Kenny Wayne Shepherd. He may not know that his link in with me because his grandmother and mama was all within 20 miles of my mother. He didn't even know that until 2 or 3 months ago.
Wow.
But I knew. Now this is the best thing that could happen to me because this is a bridge. It's a bridge among me and him and my people from Louisiana. It's also a statement we're making between a man and a man, black man and white man, that what we must do together. Just watch and see. I may not be living to see this, but what Kenny Wayne and I done now, gonna make a statement for the world. Just watch it.
All right. I'm watching. I believe that.
You just watch it. Just watch what's gonna happen to me. When all of this presidential thing is going behind, all this come and play. Just like you were talking about Etta James song here to tell you about that, they're going to talk about this. I'm here. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to make a statement.
I love that.
How many guys you know will play for 100,000 folks over here, go with Kenny Wayne, come back and play here? You know it ain't about the money.
No, I know that.
I got to make a statement. Some kind of way I got to make a statement. I know you had the Burnside here last week. They're here because they got to be here. Let me say what I'm saying now. I'm not talking about down. Because I remember when I had to play here, or no place. There wasn't no place to play but Children's Second. Now I have a choice. You follow me?
Oh, yes.
But everybody don't have that choice.
Right. No.
Everybody don't have that choice. I'm just I'm naming some names now. How many black people know Buddy Guy?
Not enough.
I hope some do.
Maybe his family. Come on, be for real.
Okay.
I'm one of the few people who crossed over and never crossed out. You know why I ain't never crossed out? Look where I am today.
Put all that work in.
My management trusts me. They don't trust the gig. Ain't enough money for me, for a management agent and a booking agent, the management to do this. Because they about the dollar.
Yeah.
This ain't about the money with me.
Yeah. Well, I can
It's
tell
about
you.
me. It's like a statement.
Yeah.
You can't get Stevie Wonder to do this. I'm using him an example now.
But if you could, would you?
If he could,
If you could get him to do it, would you? Have him come here, Stevie Wonder.
I would love to do that. I didn't say what was impossible or possible, but I doubt it.
I know.
Because money and management won't let him do it.
Absolutely. And I think it's management.
I
more
just
than
told
anything.
you nobody run Bobby Rush. I just run it by the manager.
Yeah.
But you got to live like that to tell you what you can't. The people you can call and do that with don't. Is trying to get to where I am. I got people call me every day. Bobby Rush, why don't you do this with me? You with Kenny Wayne Shepherd now. What you did, cross us out. You was our hero. But you can only tie a man up inside the house. You can't tie him up on the outside of the house. You got to get in. Let me tell you why I said that to you. In 1963, I went to Berlin with Chuck Berry. I was glad to go to Berlin with Chuck Berry. Man, I went in for make a home for me. It said Chuck Berry and Bobby Rush. With Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. About that Wednesday night, the paper said Bobby Rush and Chuck Berry.
Oh, nice.
He quit. He fired me. He quit.
Oh.
Now I got no gig.
Oh, no.
Now dumb me. I went, got me and Teddy Pendergrass went up in Philadelphia, and Teddy got the big hit record, and he had my band with him. Now we got, first time I ever made any decent money. We had 30, 40 days. I'm making about $80,000, which is a lot of money to me. Not per night, per the whole thing. So I worked so hard. Teddy Pendergrass management come to me. And I give you 3 guesses who it was, and the first 2 don't count. Come to me and say, Bobby Rush, we got some good news and bad news. I said, what is it? So which one you want first? I said, give me the good news. The good news is we owe you $83,000. I ain't never made no $83,000. Paid me off, and then the next bad news is we don't need you no more. I work hard. This time around, I want to make this work with me and Kenny. I'm smart enough now to know what not to do.
I hear you.
You know,
I know that.
I pick my harmonica up and take it with me. You ask me what I want to do here with the guitar. Get the harmonica. Stay by, let the guitar player have these things. And I just pick up my little thing and walk. Whether you notice or not, when you see me do the acoustic thing, you probably never saw acoustic thing. You ever notice when I walk in the audience, I don't have nobody but my harmonica? Ain't no artist in the country do this. None. Zero.
And I know this. I know that's one of the hardest instruments to play.
Not really.
Really?
It's just like
I don't know a lot
it's
of
just like a
people.
woman having a baby. That ain't hard. It's just hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Better be careful, Bobby Rush.
You know, it's not hard for me. You know,
I just know that there's not a lot of people who can play the harmonica great.
some of it because you want to know why. Some
Why?
of it because the people who write about the blues and hard players is saying that that's something less than something else.
Yeah.
Guess who wrote about it?
Guitar player? No.
It wasn't black people.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They didn't write about themselves playing it. They were, oh, here come the harmonica player, them dumb guys. They have a movie out now called Sinners.
I saw it.
You saw it?
And I know you did the music in it.
I did a lot. I had a doctor do with the saying. I can say it now because it's been said and done. Because the man was talking about how, come on in, we're going to stink up this place. You can't use that. I was the father of the guy who was saying, I said, listen, come here. Let me talk to you. You shouldn't say that. Talking to a black man to another black man.
Yeah. I see what
Can't
you're
get into
saying.
name.
Yeah.
They listened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at that time, I can remember when you couldn't say that because the white people didn't want to deal in the same setting the black people because they say they stink.
Yeah. I know exactly
That was a
what you
purchase.
mean.
That was a
Right.
black and white thing.
Yeah.
And I made it make sense.
Yeah.
So luckily, I said something that went to the head, and they were willing to pay me for everything I said.
Good. Well, you know.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So the public see the credit, but they don't really know where the credit comes from.
Right.
They don't know I'm sitting talking to them, and they were educated by old man talking to them.
Absolutely. Well, you knew.
I know.
That's right.
Because I couldn't let it go down. Well, I didn't tell you what you should be saying,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Today I was talking about, don't let that ant get on you. I was talking about how people listen to me. They may be led about what I'm saying. But I said all I was talking about my 40 acres and my mule. That's a promise. It's only a promise to the one who knows it's a promise. One that don't know it, it's not a promise. I'm a blues singer on a biblical study, which don't have nothing to do with right or wrong. Not a religion nut. But my biblical study gives me the sense to know that this is my 30 year now having a jail ministry. I only do it because there's so many misleading and misguided things about the Bible, especially to guys in prison. And most of the time I talk about that because guys in prison, 80% of the guys I talk to is black young men. And I tell them about making mistake. When you make a mistake and know it, you can correct yourself or herself. But when you don't know it, that's a problem. Because the Bible teaches me a man will do the wrong so long, he'll think he's right. There's some thing going on and political thing going on now. People think they're right about it. And they're wrong about it. And if they think they're right about it, they think they're right about it.
Yeah. I agree.
You know. But I'm sitting here to tell you that this is a blessing to talk to you like this. But it's also a curse to know what I know. Cause to know what I know, war unto a man who knows better don't do, he get whooped with many stripes. So that's some things I know that shouldn't be done. And I still fall in line of doing them because this my way of survival. And it shouldn't have to be like this.
No, it shouldn't. But are you planning on writing another book? Putting some of this stuff in it?
Yes.
Good. I think you should. You should at least be journaling some of these thoughts because I'm a firm believer in that bridge.
Yeah, I can talk about it now, but I couldn't talk about this, what I'm getting ready to say, many years ago. In 1951, I didn't want to fall in the trap that a lot of my friends fell into. One was Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf. I saw with B.B. King, and I fell in some of those traps too. Because I couldn't do what I needed to do as a black man. So I went downtown Chicago. I was the second black man to hire to get hired on Rush Street. The man who hired me was Cesar Capone, Al Capone brother.
Is it club?
He wrote this in his book. This is in his book. It's-
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike, Alligator Mike.
Yeah, come on in, Mike. We're good.
Sit down, Mike.
Let's see if this will stop the flickering.
It's warm in here.
Get it down a little bit.
It's warm.
Oh, it's all right
Ladies
with
Turn
me.
it back. It ain't gonna. Might as well get the light, whatever light you can.
And y'all, since we're doing kind of a break,
Uh-huh.
can I get a